Hey there, I'm Ben and I'm excited to show you how you could create your very own cluster. Alright, let's do this. The first thing you need to do is give your cluster a name. What's that? Sprinkles? Alright. Since we do the hosting for you, you can access your cluster at sprinkles.kluster.com. Next, you'll want to personalize your cluster and choose the colors you want. You can choose a primary and secondary color. Once you've got that out of the way, you need to set up classifications for participants, like management, interns, and customers. When people jump in, they'll select their own user type. But in case you've got someone like we do, who's an intern and thinks he's management, you can certainly override it. Now that you've got your user type sorted, it's time to start a project. Setting up the project is fairly simple. Throw in a title like New Sprinkles Ad Campaign. Add a description of your question, problem, or project. You can also upload anything else you want people to have access to, like images, audio, or video, virtually any digital file. Next, you'll need to define the criteria which ideas will be rated by. Since we're looking for an ad campaign here, maybe we'll have input rated on uniqueness, viral potential, cool factor, and cost. Lastly, you'll need to decide if your project has a deadline, or if you'll want to run it and end it manually. You can also choose to have a shoot an email to everyone in your cluster announcing your new project. Once your project is up and running, your community can propose ideas and solutions. At the same time, community members will rate each other's submissions based upon the criteria you selected during the setup. This is all well and good, but the real magic lies elsewhere. Let's head on over to the real-time results page and fire up the cluster EQ. First, you can define the relative importance of each criteria in relation to one another. For example, here we want to rate cool factor higher than cost, because that's kind of the way we do things over here. Now, we can fine-tune user influence levels for each criteria and see how it affects the data. Let's see what happens when we put more weight on an intern's opinion when it comes to cool factor than an executive's. Huh, interesting. At the same time, let's give the management's rating on cost more importance than an intern's. See how the results update in real time while you play with the EQ? We give you a weighted average from 1 to 10 on each idea for a quick visualization, but allow you to dig in further and see the weighted rating of each criteria within each idea. This is powerful stuff. Okay, so some other stuff worth mentioning here. All administrators of your cluster have access to your results page. They can go in, change some sliders, and save a revision for themselves. So for example, this is Ben's way of doing things, and this is Claude's way of doing things. Once you guys have agreed on the best EQ setting, you can publish the results. Participants will see the final ratings on each idea, but not the EQ. So don't feel like you'll be hurting management's feeling on that whole cool factor thing. Having your own cluster will allow you to access all the untapped knowledge and creativity within your community, but the EQ keeps you in the analytical driver's seat. Go ahead, start a cluster. It's free and pretty freaking awesome. Cluster's awesome. You should come check it out sometime. And sprinkles.kluster.com for your latest ice cream accoutrement.